Basic government spending, like the military, roads, and police, are a small percentage of total spending. The idea of taxing the rich and higher taxes is popular because most people think that this will finally fund the basic roles of government, such as the military, roads, and police. Number one, these basic functions are a relatively small percentage of federal and state spending. For 2023, only $800 billion out of the total $6 trillion spent was on the military. This means that the military budget was only about 13% of total spending. Meanwhile, welfare style spending such as Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and income security programs were a total of $3.2 trillion, which is upwards of 55% of the budget. The debt interest, which is about $600 billion and about 10% of the budget, exists because of this spending. This means that in total, social safety net spending was nearly 65% of the entire spending of the US federal government. Next, let's look at the California state budget. The spending of California was about $300 billion for 2024. Healthcare spending, which is generally healthcare cost subsidies and free healthcare, was $115 billion. K through 12 free education was $82 billion. Higher education spending, which is generally subsidies of the college system, was $24 billion. Meanwhile, essential government functions like the roads, prison, and the justice system were only about $66 billion. At a county level, only about $8 billion was spent on police officers and about $3 billion was spent on fire services. Free K through 12 education was about 25% of spending. This is likely because public education is very often a government-run monopoly, being much more expensive than it has to be. This means that a grand total of only about 20% of the spending of the state of California went to roads and police, and another 25% was spent on government-run public education. A large amount of revenue to pay for California spending was generated from income taxes on the top 10% of earners. This is why there's such a focus on taxing the rich. The state of California currently has a yearly budget shortfall of $18 billion due to this government spending. Number two, socialist programs such as free healthcare for everyone are the vast majority of most budgets and cause gigantic budget deficits. On a state level, like we saw with California's budget, spending on healthcare subsidies is extremely expensive, almost $115 billion per year. On a federal level, programs like Medicare for All are estimated to be $3 to $5 trillion per year minimum. This would require much higher taxes on both the rich and the middle class. Number three, government spending exists in two categories: community spending and wealth redistribution, which is socialism. The first type of spending is one in which everyone benefits from by communally pooling resources, such as the military or roads. You would likely get 99% supermajority approval for this role of government. Providing roads is a natural role of the government. These are often paid for by consumption taxes, such as sales tax and gas taxes. The second type of spending is socialist spending. This aims to have free stuff, such as free healthcare or free housing. This is primarily paid for by heavy taxes on the top earning quintiles. These policies only exist because in any random year, 51% of the population voted for them, and politicians were able to pass them into law. Less than 50% of state spending was dedicated to roads, police, and schools. Less than 15% of federal spending was dedicated to the military.